Spyro the Dragon is one of those video game icons that no matter how into games you are, you're probably at least familiar with him. The unfortunate bit is that after the initial 3 games, the original developer Insomniac Games moved on to different franchises. IP holder Universal Games decided that they weren't ready to let the Purple Dragon go quite yet, and instead handed the series over to a slew of new developers, making a number of new games over the years. That brings us to our topic today, the self-proclaimed Spyro 4, Spyro, Enter the Dragonfly. Is it really that bad? Let's get started. I'm an overall new fan of Spyro. I'm a huge fan of other Insomniac properties such as Ratchet & Clank and Spider-Man, and I was an enormous fan of Skylanders when I was younger. But it wasn't until I got head over heels for gaming in 2020 that I picked up the Reignited trilogy for my PS4 and instantly fell in love with the series. Since then, I played the first 2 games and the first Legend of Spyro game. But the one game I never got around to playing despite owning a copy for most of my life is Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. I always really liked the cover, but it's funny, it would seem even little me knew that this game wasn't worth my time. This game looks disgusting. Everything is way too smooth and it honestly looks unfinished. All of the characters have flesh for mouths, and it makes everything super uncanny. The only thing that looks pretty decent is the level design, except I have just as many bad things to say about that too. There are far fewer worlds here than any other Spyro game, and in theory, this is compensated by having the ones that are here be a lot bigger. But unfortunately, someone didn't tell the developers that even if their levels are the size of the Earth, the only way they become fun is to fill them up with stuff to do. The levels are so empty, and even in the areas where there is stuff to do, there really isn't. Maybe just a few enemies and a frozen dragon. It made this game really boring to play, because even when I stumbled onto something to do, it was over quickly or just simply wasn't fun. Beyond the visuals, this game unfortunately fails in the controls as well. The different breaths feel like they have no reach at all, and the charge attack decides to increase your movement speed from that of a snail to the speed of light, making it very hard to control, or accomplish the task you were trying to charge with to begin with. The funniest bit though is when you interact with something that wants to talk to you, and they aren't facing you, the developers didn't think to put an animation for Spyro to walk around to the front, so instead he just slides across the ground and clips through whatever he needs to get to the area the game wants him to be in. It's definitely proof of the low effort, but it's also hilarious every single time it happens. If I was to give this game any praise, I would say the story is pretty okay. It's your standard fare of Spyro, but where it falls flat is with the individual levels. The Insomniac games were filled with so much love and character, everyone in this game just talks like a robot and just spouts nonsense at you. Which is actually another point I have, where I do not understand why this game felt the need to hold my hand the entire first world. The original trilogy was really good at simply letting you do your thing and figuring it out on your own. For the first hour or so playing this game, it kept pausing to move the camera to show me exactly where I needed to go next. It was really annoying. Overall, this seems like such a low effort title. It seems like the developers were too scared to change too much, but then changed just enough to ruin everything that they were trying to preserve. I know a lot of Spyro's later history is rocky, but I figured I should start here. I have definitely played worse games overall, but when looking at this through the games that came before it, Enter the Dragonfly is truly bad. What did you think? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe while you're down there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.